Hi, everyone. Stop scrolling right now. In this exact moment, there's someone thinking about you who can't tell you directly anymore. Not because they don't want to, but because they're not here. They're gone. And the distance between you isn't measured in miles. It's measured in a gap that feels impossible to cross. Welcome back. It's Anna. And before you click away thinking this is something it's not, just stay with me for a second, because what I'm about to talk about isn't supernatural. It's not mystical. It's not about spirits or signs from beyond or messages channeled through the universe. It's about something way more human than that. It's about grief, memory, and the way people we've lost continue to exist inside us in ways that feel so real. We swear they're trying to reach us. Let me explain what I actually mean by someone from the other side. You may have lost someone, maybe recently, maybe years ago, a parent, a grandparent, a friend, a partner, someone whose absence created a hole in your life that never fully closed. Some people experience grief as this constant low hum in the background of everything they do. It's not always loud, it's not always debilitating, but it's there. This awareness that someone who should be here isn't. It might feel like you're doing something completely ordinary, making dinner or driving to work or laughing at something stupid, and suddenly you think they would have loved this, or I wish I could tell them about this. And for just a second, the loss feels fresh again. Let's pause here. Is less than hash shown? Zero hash is greater than, because I need you to really sit with this. This reflection invites you to consider, is there someone you've lost who still shows up in your thoughts more than you talk about? Someone whose birthday you still remember, whose voice you can still hear in your mind, whose advice you still imagine when you're facing decisions. You may have been carrying them quietly, not talking about it much because you don't want to make people uncomfortable, or because enough time has passed that you think you should be over it. But grief doesn't work like that. And you're not supposed to be over it. It's possible. What I mean by someone from the other side has a message for you is this: the version of them that lives in your memory, in your values, in the way you move through the world, is trying to tell you something. Some people dismiss this as just their own thoughts, just projection, just them wanting so badly to connect with someone who's gone that they're inventing meaning where there isn't any. But what if it's not invented? What if the message is real, just not in the way people expect? Because the people we love don't just disappear when they die. They live on in how they shaped us, in the lessons they taught us, in the standards they set, in the love they gave that we now carry forward. You may have noticed yourself doing things the way they would have done them, using phrases they used, making choices based on values they instilled, honoring them without consciously trying to. That's not mystical. That's how humans work. We're built from the people who loved us. And when they're gone, we carry pieces of them forward. It can feel like they're guiding you. And in a way, they are. Not from some spiritual realm, but from the part of your mind and heart where their influence still lives. This reflection invites you to consider, what would the person you lost want you to know right now? There's something specific I'm picking up on about ignored messages. It's possible the message isn't something you need to hear from them. It's something you already know, but you've been ignoring. Like maybe they always told you to take care of yourself and you've been running yourself into the ground. Or they believed in your potential and you've been playing small. or they valued honesty and you've been lying to yourself about something important. Some people spend so much energy wishing they could talk to someone who's gone that they don't realize they already know what that person would say because you knew them. You know their values, their wisdom, their perspective. You may have been avoiding something they would have pushed you to face, tolerating something they would have told you to walk away from, doubting yourself in ways they never would have allowed. And that avoidance, that's the ignored message. This reflection invites you to consider, what have you been avoiding that this person would have confronted you about? Let me talk about what "don't ignore this" actually means. It's possible you've been feeling something lately, a pull, a restlessness, a sense that you need to change something, but you're not sure what. And maybe in the back of your mind, you've been thinking about this person, wondering what they'd think of your life right now, whether they'd be proud, whether they'd be disappointed, whether they'd tell you you're doing fine or shake you awake. Some people use the memory of loved ones as a compass. They ask themselves, what would they do? Or what would they tell me to do? And that's not weakness. That's wisdom. Because the people who loved us well often saw us more clearly than we see ourselves. You may be in a situation right now where you already know what you need to do. You just don't want to do it. It's hard. It's scary. It requires change. But if the person you lost were here, sitting across from you, you know exactly what they'd say. They'd tell you to be brave, to stop settling, to stop waiting, to trust yourself, to go after what you actually want instead of what feels safe. This reflection invites you to consider, if the person you lost could speak to you right now, what's the one thing they'd tell you to stop putting off? There's something about regret that needs to be addressed here. It's possible part of why this message feels urgent is because you have unfinished business. Not with them, with yourself. Maybe there are things you wish you'd said when they were alive. Conversations you avoided. Apologies you never made. Gratitude you never expressed. And now they're gone, and those words are stuck inside you with nowhere to go. Some people carry that weight for years, decades. They replay the last conversation, the last visit, the last moment, and they catalog everything they wish they'd done differently. You may be punishing yourself for what you didn't say or didn't do, for being young and stupid and not knowing time was limited, for taking them for granted, for being too busy or too angry or too scared to show up the way you wish you had. But here's what I need you to hear. They knew you loved them, even if you didn't say it perfectly, even if you were complicated, even if you had conflict, they knew. And if they didn't, if things were truly unresolved, you can still honor them now by living differently, by being the person they hoped you'd become, by not making the same mistakes with the people you still have. It can feel like closure is impossible when someone's gone, like you'll never get to fix what was broken or say what went unsaid, but closure doesn't come from them. It comes from you, from forgiving yourself, from accepting that you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. This reflection invites you to consider, what do you need to forgive yourself for regarding this person? Let me talk about what the actual message might be. It's possible it's simpler than you think. Not some cosmic directive, not a complex puzzle to decode, just live. Stop waiting for permission. Stop playing it safe. Stop shrinking yourself. Stop wasting time on people and things that don't matter. Because if there's one thing death teaches the people left behind, it's that time is finite, that we don't get unlimited chances. That someday becomes never faster than we expect. Some people spend their whole lives preparing to live instead of actually living, waiting for the right time, the right circumstances, the right level of readiness. And then someone they love dies, and they realize there is no right time. There's just now, and now is all we ever get. You may have been living cautiously since you lost this person, playing it safe, avoiding risk, because loss makes you aware of how much you have to lose. But what if the message is the opposite? What if they want you to risk more, not less? To love harder, try bolder things, take up space, make noise, stop apologizing for wanting what you want, because they don't get to do that anymore, but you do. And wasting that opportunity, that would be the real tragedy. This reflection invites you to consider, what would you do differently if you truly internalize that your time is limited? There's something about legacy that matters here. It's possible you've been thinking about this person's legacy, what they left behind, how they'll be remembered, whether their life mattered. And here's what you need to understand. You are their legacy. Every choice you make, every value you uphold, every kindness you extend, every time you stand up for what's right or refuse to settle or choose love over fear, that's them living through you. Some people think legacy is about monuments or achievements or public recognition, but real legacy is quieter. It's the way we shape the people we love, the way our influence ripples out through them long after we're gone. You may be honoring this person in ways you don't even realize. In your work ethic, your compassion, your resilience, your humor, your standards. They're not gone if they're still alive in you. This reflection invites you to consider, what parts of this person do you carry forward every day? Let me slow down and talk about something important. Someone from the other side has a message for you. Don't ignore this. But the message isn't magical. It's not supernatural. It's practical. It's urgent. It's human. It's stop wasting your life. Stop playing small. Stop waiting. Stop hiding. Because someone you love doesn't get to do any of that anymore. And you dishonor them by squandering what they no longer have. Some people need to hear this harshly, not cruelly, but clearly, because grief can become an excuse, a reason to stay stuck, a way to avoid the risk of living fully. And the people we've lost, if they could speak, they wouldn't want that for us. You may need to ask yourself if your grief has become a cage, if you've been so focused on what you lost that you've stopped seeing what you still have. Because you're still here, you still have time, you still have choices, you still have the ability to build something meaningful with the days you have left. This reflection invites you to consider, have you been using grief as a reason not to fully engage with your life? There's something about gratitude that needs to be said. It's possible the message is also, thank you. Thank you for remembering. Thank you for carrying them forward. Thank you for loving them still. Thank you for letting their death mean something by living differently because of it. Some people worry they're forgetting, that too much time has passed, that they don't think about the person as often as they used to, and that means they're moving on in a way that feels like betrayal. But moving forward isn't forgetting. Healing isn't abandonment. Building a life that includes joy again isn't dishonoring their memory. You may need permission to be happy, to laugh without guilt, to love new people, to create new memories, to stop defining yourself by loss. And if that person could give you that permission, they would. Because people who love us don't want us to suffer forever. They want us to live fully completely, without reservation. This reflection invites you to consider, what would this person want for your future? Let me talk about what you're supposed to do with this message. It's possible you already know. You've known, you've just been avoiding it, because knowing and doing are different things. Maybe you need to have a hard conversation, make a big change, take a risk, let someone go, let someone in, start something, stop something, whatever it is. The person you lost would want you to do it, to stop playing it safe, to stop sacrificing your truth for other people's comfort. Some people spend their whole lives waiting for a sign, and this is it. Not from beyond, from within, from the part of you that carries their wisdom and their love and their belief in who you could become. You remain in complete control of what you do with this. You can listen. You can ignore it. You can think about it and decide later. The power is yours. It always has been. You may notice reading this has brought someone specific to mind, and maybe tears, and maybe this ache of missing someone so much it physically hurts. That's normal. That means you loved deeply, and deep love leaves deep marks. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't ignore what you know you need to hear. Before we close, I want to ask you something. If the person you lost could tell you one thing right now, what do you think it would be? You don't have to share it publicly, but name it for yourself. Write it down if you need to. And what's one thing you've been putting off that you know they'd want you to do? What would it take to actually do it? Someone from the other side has a message for you. Don't ignore this. And the message is simple. Live like you mean it. Love without holding back. Stop wasting time. Stop playing small. Stop waiting for perfect, because time is the one thing none of us get back. And the people who are gone, they'd give anything for one more day, one more conversation, one more chance. You still have those chances. Don't waste them. Not eventually. Right now. Today. Trust yourself with this. Trust that you know what they'd want for you, and then have the courage to give it to yourself. I'll see you in the next one. And listen, the best way to honor someone you've lost, live a life they'd be proud of, not a perfect life, a brave one. Start now.